It is still live.
We're back.
See the timer going.
We're back. OBS says we're back. So hello everyone. Don't worry, I didn't leave you. OBS just said fuck you. So scream at OBS.
OBS is sponsored by the car lobby.
Yes, definitely. Fucking VW hacked into my computer to make me shut up about cars. I think, okay, honestly, VW actually makes cars that you actually can drive. I'm deeply respectful of German language. I mean, which one? A, B, maybe don't. Our language can be goofy, and we should own that.
It's very vibes-based.
It is vibes-based. But if you find the way you make up words by combining other words, rather silly. I mean, okay, here's the thing.
English does that too.
English does that too. You just put a space between them.
Deutsch is de Wieben basiert.
You have not been to Ich im echten Leben. You have no idea how. Okay, so basically, there's a whole Reddit community. It's a joke on me in real life on Reddit, and they forcefully translate every single English word as literally as possible.
Yeah, we have one for Dutch as well.
Nice.
We have several, I think, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's one that's me IRL, and I think that there's another one that's just like a Dutch shitpost subreddit where they like transliterate everything.
Yeah, I brought them up a while ago because of the catfish thing. I need to bring up the catfish story again, I suppose.
Ooh.
English is an extremely cursed language. I think it's the most cursed language in the world. And yet it's very intuitive, ironically.
English has the upside of the, and they also have they and them, which is really useful. You know? On the contrary, in German, everything has a gender.
Yeah.
Still weird that the AfD is like, oh no, but every fucking, I don't know how to say it in English, noun, I think?
Noun?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We describe a gender to it. No matter what. Which is also why I say vibes-based, because why would a bus have a gender?
In Dutch, we have like every word does have a gender. We do have like neutral stuff, but we don't have like gender neutral. Like it's either he or she. We don't really have a neutral form of that, of a preposition or whatever it's called. Like it just doesn't exist.
Yeah, we only have it basically.
Yeah, exactly. We don't even have. Yeah, well, we have it, but like, it's
Yeah, we have
like if you use it, like the Dutch version of it, in the way that you would use like a gender neutral pronoun, it would sound really weird and stilted. Like we only have like male and female words like that.
Yeah.
It's
But,
it usually defaults to male.
Yeah. We also have the generic masculine in German.
Yeah.
And you can't even like easily reform that, because you since most people think in the generic masculine, as soon as you do it in feminine, everyone thinks you exclusively mean feminine. And that leads to problems.
Yeah. Okay. So,
I think Spanish has a similar problem, and every that's why I also mean it's vibes based. Every language in this area that uses a similar system assigns their gender to nouns, mostly vibes based.
yeah. I mean,
Like the carrot is female and the bus is male.
yeah.
It's
Great.
interesting, right? Like, there is no direct system here. It's just it sounds
like,
nicer. That's all.
The thing with the it just sounds nicer, but like studying Japanese right now, and I can do for Japanese. They have the simple sentence structure and grammar of any Roman slash Germanic language would be completely extraterrestrial. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
they don't have the. I think, if I remember correctly, in Japanese they are not the pronouns we have in Germanic or similar languages. They use completely different approach.
Yeah. Like, I actually tried to learn a bit of Chinese back in the day, but like, yeah, I know the structure is very different. It's similar. It's just flipped, so that's how I basically remembered it. You just flip it. I'm like, oh yeah, I know. I see why they did it like that. Yeah. So the thing is, about the catfish story, basically. Yeah, the whole gendering things differently is it's very interesting. I mean, we have said a bunch of times as well here, like for example, how especially Arabic immigrants use a lot of times there as so the masculine article a lot more than is actually used here, which is very funny because then you have like the old German discussions like is it das Nutella or die Nutella? It's das Nutella, by the way. Everyone who says die Nutella is an illiterate idiot who should go back to school. But then you have this conversation going on, and then just Ahmed opens the door and it's like der Nutella. And you know what?
And you know what the worst part is? The people that call it die Nutella, since Nutella is technically a short, I think, for Nuss-Nougat cream.
Yep.
If you speak it completely, then it would be die Nuss-Nougat cream.
I know.
It's just that when you shorten it to a brand, that then the article changes for some reason.
I mean, doors are female. I ask any German. Doors are female. Except when you ask Arabic people, they're like neutral. They're like, I guess.
Also,
yeah, and that's created one of the most famous lines in all of German history, and that is der Gerät. I need to elaborate on der Gerät now, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, there is I think a Turkish inventor that moved to Germany, and he had something, and his thing he wanted to sell is a machine that cuts Döner, so the kebab, because he was like, hey, this is consistency. It's more sanitary, it's consistent, it helps with workflow, and so yeah. And the thing is, he had an interview made. And this one got a bit viral because the thing is, he basically just wanted to talk about how his machine, how his machine basically is so much better than the normal guy working at the store. And so the thing is just he could have said machine, so Maschine, die Maschine, or das Gerät, but he didn't know, so he said der Gerät. And so this ended up in the very famous line, der Gerät wird nie müde, der Gerät schläft niemals ein, der Gerät ist immer vor dem Chef im Geschäft und schneidet das Dönerfleisch schweißfrei. Which just got memed to hell and back because, yeah, der Gerät is taking your job. Because he's vor dem Chef, like he's before the chef at work. Like, more like, im Geschäft is more like in the store. I can't remember which word or words had the gender difference compared to my language. I just have a hunch it was either door or table. Regardless, gendered languages are verified mire. They are.
I think he has lots of examples where every language has a different gender for it.
Yeah. Basically.
Like, at least the Eurocentric ones.
Yeah, but like the thing is, this kind of meme was then basically turned into. Now it's like literally called Der Gerät, and you can actually find it in a lot of Döner stores in Germany. Because the guy never gave up, and he actually went to a lot of stores, and they were like, "This is actually really useful." Like, yeah. And now and then it became obviously an Apple joke because nearly everything is.
It cuts the donor flesh free of Swiss.
Yes, no more Swiss people in the donor. Fuck, what did they always do in my donor? Gladly they removed it. I mean, and then you have, there were some very classics there, like Romans and Germans arguing about which noun possesses which gender, speedrun 100% glitchless. Impossible. But yeah. Very classic. There are even some joke songs about it that people made in the old days of YouTube. But yeah, it's this is a whole history in Germany. But like yeah, yeah. And from what I know, they're still going well. Like they actually made an even bigger robot for industrial purposes, which is interesting. Yeah.
They're mega great.
Yeah, they get 4.0. So wait a second. Basically. So one of the big things is that they how's it called? He basically wanted to make one where really 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 big ones because there are some brain, stop it. So how in there's like pre-packaged doner meat being sold. And the thing is, his selling point is that factories can have basically a bigger version of it, of the the machine, and they can just procedurally keep making doner meat basically in the factory. So I can't find a good picture of it, but like ironically, it's basically one of those classic robot arms with just a doner machine at the end. And apparently their biggest problem is actually getting this to work with the software. So, goddammit, that is a tasty shawarma skewer. I would eat that. We have some good fucking, doner here. Like, I mean, hey, the modern doner is a German invention, so hooray.
Depending on how you define German, sure.
I mean, it was in Berlin. And it was popularized here. The way everyone eats it is here. Shawarma, ironically,
but
is
not the German
from.
came up with it. That's my point.
Yeah, it was a Turkish immigrant.
Yes.
And then we have obviously the best the best thing in terms of branding ever. Because the thing is, obviously, you buy a doner in Germany and you get this. It is legendary. And it's cheap as fuck because... So, fun fact, this thing actually exists because, once again, like, the weird part is, you need to keep in mind, the modern doner, as it was, popularized in Berlin, as we know, with meat, with cabbage, and sauce in flatbread, really only got big because no one gave a fuck about copyright. Like, the first guy that, the guy that popularized it was like, yeah, no, I don't want to license that. He could have. He could have literally had a patent. He could have, shawarma is something different. Shawarma is different. Like, it's a similar way of, making the meat, but a doner and a shawarma is different. Like, so shawarma is in a certain type of flatbread rolled, like with I think molasses, and it's generally a bit different. I think some do like fries in it, which is interesting, but like everyone knows shawarma nowadays from how's it called, that one Canadian chain.
Tim Hortons?
No. They made weird skits about protecting the culture. No ketchup on shawarma. Yeah, no. The big difference is more like, yeah. If you look at like shawarma again, it's more like that. You have a thin bread rolled, and you roll stuff in. Meanwhile, döner in a good bread. This is why the Germans love it, by the way, because it's the first fast food that has to include bread. So we like it. I mean, there is a difference here. Like, if you go to a shawarma place, you get shawarma, not döner. Döner is different. Also, döner is it sometimes is like, there's chicken, but yeah. Yeah, it's döner here. Like that's where it comes from. I mean, it's actually kebab, döner kebab, because Turkish guy actually has a patent on it. But yeah, no, that's pretty interesting. Like this thing, literally, because I think someone in Frankfurt who was also a Turkish immigrant working at a design, company, basically just had like, basically just had like, oh hey, he always had some clients off the side, and one was just like apparently one Turkish doner shop, and they were like hey, I need a logo, so they just, as you can see, very easily stitched it together. Like, I think fun fact, from what I know, this knife here wasn't a thing in it. Like, he basically took a picture of a chef holding I think shashlik. A shashlik pike. And then just edited like a very shitty döner, besides it. It edited it to a knife. This is why it's held so weirdly. And this is how this happened. And because, it was never licensed, well, everyone uses it now. Every single store in Germany uses it. Yeah, I know, he edited the picture a bit, but this is why it looks like that. He edited something over it. That's what I wanted to say. This was a shashlik, and he just edited it out and did something different and put something. Yeah, this is why it's a shitty long knife. It was a shashlik one, but he edited it out and then put stuff here, and then like, no, it's not. This is why he's holding it so weirdly. But yeah, the more you know. Dun 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 dun. And yeah, Germany. We have weird stuff, and I'm not even getting to the catfish, because there's this thing like, we have a catfish problem in Germany. Did you know that? Like, so basically they put the catfish here into the rivers and lakes because they wanted to catch them. And the thing is, people stopped eating catfish, and then things got warmer, and now we have catfish. like big catfish. They sometimes eat small dogs. He's friend shaped.
They are.
They are. So basically what happened, he's big and looks like a friend and eats small dogs. Maybe even a child.
I haven't heard of a child.
Not yet.
But there were lots of rumors about dogs back in the day.
Yeah, they probably did though. And the thing is, what happened is that now in the Bavarian Lake, some people, went swimming there, and then catfish was like, didn't even know it, but apparently he bit one, and then, I kid you not, a fucking cop came and unloaded his Glock into the thing. And so we got this glorious picture of, what the fuck, why are you smiling? Why did you unload a Glock into a catfish and pose with it? That's just so stupid. Yeah. And so now we got a lot of memes about that. Now that's what I call catfishing. I mean, yeah, I guess go with your Glock and just unload. Well, and basically, they kept making jokes about it, like, because shortly afterwards, there was like this, there was this, how's it called? Brain. I know it's past 3 a.m., but work, please. There was like a post in like a local newspaper about, a woman eating the catfish, and then people photoshopped the catfish eating the woman. It was like, fuck you. So it's got that beat though with dynamite fishing, gun fishing, the local evolution of bow fishing. I mean, I guess. Yeah. And now, I think the catfish memes are maybe taking maybe a small setback because so you know what's very funny what happened? So people realized something in Baden-Württemberg. See, 20 years ago, so in 2005, someone, they rolled out a new program to, have basically, manage stuff like people working, like teachers and stuff. Teachers working schools, etc. Well, so there was a problem in the code for 20 years. Turns out they were missing 1,440 teachers. I didn't know.
So you cut out for it. They were missing 1,400 what?
1,440 teachers.
Ooh.
Yep. Because someone fucked up 20 years ago programming something. And they only noticed now. Yep. So now people are making jokes about that. Good jokes, but still. Sometimes I love this country. It's just absurdity. How could it even happen? Again, programming mistake and no one bothered to check. But also, I can guarantee you I know how it happened. See, there's this thing in Germany which is something I really think this should be. Hey Ropi, how are you doing? Yeah, wait, sorry, this is the yappening. We usually go up until 4 or 5 a.m. So, yeah, we're talking about the we're talking about the situation in Baden-Württemberg, how they just had a fuck up for 20 years and we're missing like 1,440 teachers, which is definitely a normal thing you should find out after 20 years, that you just were chronically understaffed all the time. Oh, that thing, yes, that thing. Yeah, it's and I can tell you I know how it happened, because the thing is that every single so the thing about the education system in Germany is that every single state is basically making its own, like, and the thing is that this is routinely, sadly, a topic of local it's not only that, it's also just a thing of it just is used a lot of times in terms of how's it called, campaigning. So and in Baden-Württemberg, the government changed a few times during the last decade. Like, for example, I remember I still had Abi, which was considered like the hardest, final exam to exist, because it was, in some areas it was just bullshit. They were just like, no, everyone has to do higher education math. What the fuck do you mean everyone has to? Oh yeah, totally. They didn't know, and no one actually bothered to check again and again, and because people get shuffled in and out, whoops. They were definitely more concerned with actually reworking how education worked, which, sure, I think other Greens well, yeah, not surprised about that. Because, yeah, like, as we were shuffling out, it's a lot of things, yeah. But, yeah, not noticing that for 20 years, like, I mean, just a program change is enough. It is, like I did I worked a bit in IT at a hospital, and no, people are dumb. People are absolutely inept with technology.
You had what at IT?
At an IT department for like a few weeks. Yeah.
What did you actually do? Because I know you don't know.
I mean, I helped fix PCs and exchange them, but like, let me tell you, there were a lot of times where they were called because some fucker just watched porn again, and whoops, your PC bricked again. I mean, which country isn't cooked? I don't know if we're comparatively more cooked or less cooked compared to countries in Europe, but yeah. The word is cooked. Yeah. I mean, the weird part is more like, I think the irony is that, you had the old people, and they were like, I never needed to use a computer, so why should I learn now? And you just sit there being like, shut the fuck up, Grandpa, this is easier. And then you have new people who are like, I never needed to learn that, why do I need to learn it now? Like, shut the fuck up, Susan, put your iPad down, use a mouse and keyboard. Sometimes you just get confronted with stupidity, But that feels so weird. yeah, it's like, I know my dad is also a bit pissed about that all the time. Because, like, I feel like only our generation really grew up with, computers. Touchscreens. It's fucking touchscreens. Because everyone grew up with smartphones and never worked on a PC. Like, I know how to do basic stuff because there were some gaps. But now everything is so streamlined, they just, yeah. And shitter now, yeah. Yeah. No, don't worry. Like, this is the Yap stream. If you want to vent about something, just fucking vent. This is fair enough. This is fair game, everything here. By the way, I need to do the shout out. If you're a regular and you like it here and you're like, hey, this sounds like a fun community, we have a Discord. It is invite only because we do want to regulate who's on and who's not on because, rapid growth can be very cancerous. I mean, that's literally the definition of rapid growth.
The definition of cancer.
I mean, yeah, okay, the definition of cancer is rapid growth.
Like uncontrolled growth?
Uncontrolled rapid growth, and yeah, I don't want to have a cancer Discord, so we have a community Discord. You need to say you want to join and we can send you an invite. But yeah, the thing is, like I know how it can be kind of annoying because like when you rely more and more on computers, where less and less people are actually interested in invite me. Sure, if I be active. Oh yeah, I can send you an invite. But it really isn't what's going to, and that's going to be our downfall. Yeah. I mean.
Also, not many people who actively teach more intricate parts about computers in general. In my opinion. And the few people you maybe find on the internet, like for free, can't teach for shit.
Yeah.
Cats.
Yeah, they're. Oh my. It's just. Yeah. Also, just sometimes you feel like some people just really don't understand some basic coherency. Like, for example, again, I know the whole thing about tablets and stuff because my dad is still like the head of IT at a hospital group, and he's very pissed off with a lot of young people. Let's just put it like that. Because
don't let small kids play with smartphones, okay?
yeah, it's like he sometimes like they get a new person and he has to start explaining Excel to them.
Yeah, it's not coming with your usual prepackaged, not with an iPhone, not with an iPad.
Yeah, it's not just doing things instantly. So, whoopsie, I guess. And I think one of the funniest parts about that is that I think.
But to be fair, Excel is technically a work program, so work should be expected of the workplace to teach the people how to work there. Which, if you need to use Excel, they need to be prepared to teach you Excel.
Yeah.
It's just like the people in the job already know it.
Mm-hmm.
And now with a new generation that is even less exposed to it than our generation.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously people are pissed, but then again, like, nobody teach those kids.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like, I generally think like, yeah, kids deserve a PC, not a smartphone. A PC is weird, it's arcane, but you can learn it. It can have some love. A smartphone will drain your brain, period. Doesn't care. But yeah, I find it so funny because like my dad once told me had a situation of like, you know, he's basically doing work from home nowadays because he would be switching between a lot of places anyway, so he's like he can do it remote, and if something has to come up, he can just drive there. And he was on a Zoom call, and he kind of has his own place in the basement, and someone of the New York colleagues was basically started talking like, "Whoa, dude! You have a vinyl collection. That's so cool. Why did you have that?" So my dad is above 60. You can probably make a very easy assumption why a guy above 60 has a vinyl collection and a record player. PC is not arcane. Everything is a PC. I mean, yeah, but like, it's not you click on a nice little button and just opens up and tells you everything. But yeah, that's the difference. What I want to see. This is why, like, you need to actually open a browser, type things in with a clicky-clacky keyboard. I mean, Google gets more shittier by the minute, but, at least if you use DuckDuckGo, you can maybe still do some stuff, I guess. Don't use DuckDuckGo, I think. Is DuckDuckGo good now? I don't know.
Comparatively?
Comparatively, probably. Yeah.
Actually, I actually switched to DuckDuckGo a while back as my standard search engine.
Maybe I should do it as well.
But it's one I know that at least like supposedly has like privacy and such as a main goal. So that's why we're like, okay, let's do DuckDuckGo. But otherwise I don't know what other search engine I would use. Like I know of only a handful of major search engines that are still around, and like Google, Bing, DuckDuckGo. Those are like the three I know that are still somewhat big name. Like any others?
I mean, the thing is,
small ones might still be good, but you don't know for sure. Like a smaller search engine, higher risk of having a worse.
The thing is, DuckDuckGo is probably good. Google, you can also still use it to a degree. Bing is one hell of an interesting joke Microsoft poured millions into. Anyway.
Yeah.
And we all talk about this. I'm head to bed now. Have a good night. Yeah. But yeah, my dad said something broke inside of him when he got asked why he had such a cool vinyl collection. Like, where did you get it from? And he just sat there being like,
but he bought it.
I bought it. And he was like, but why? Didn't you have MP3s? And it was like, why didn't you listen to music for? And he was just like, heading off to now. Oh yeah, have a good night. See you around, probably for Prey on Sunday. It's gonna be interesting. Couldn't look. But yeah.
Don't forget Neo on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday Neo. I definitely need to sleep for that though. Also, my throat is hurting, and I get a little bit more hungry now. Fuck. Anyway. But yeah, it's like, yeah, where did you get those vinyls from? Those are rarities. And, I mean, yeah. First edition Michael Jackson Thriller, probably a rarity nowadays. You could just buy it at the store back then. But yeah, he was just like,
yeah.
You had to have that to listen to music. And he was like, didn't you have CDs or cassettes, what they have back in the day? And like, my dad was just sat there being like, oh god, they don't know time frames. It's just like,
When were cassettes popularized?
Cassettes were cool.
When?
When?
When were they popular?
Cassettes were actually already in the 80s.
Yeah.
The compact cassette was 1963.
Yeah, I was wanted to say.
They were there for a long time.
It was vinyls, cassettes, and roughly 10 years later we already had CDs.
Yeah, like the thing is, but like still, if you wanted to have music back then, you got a vinyl. Period. So, yeah. I kind of like it. In English it's vinyl record. In German it's Schallplatte, because it's a plate that has sound slash recorded. So it's a sound plate. Great. But yeah, it's still kind of weird to think about that. But, well, yeah, vinyls, they're cool, honestly. They're honestly pretty cool, but like, yeah, the CDs basically killed them for good reason, actually, but still.
Yes and no. I have to say, before you had MP3s and everything,
Yeah.
cassette music players were superior to CD players. If you wanted portable versions.
Fair point.
Because the CD player you had to hold at a certain angle, not much force.
God, can you remember about how much like having music on the go sucked a little bit back in the day?
The cassette player was fine.
I don't know, cassettes were fine, but like when it came to, for example, like cassettes were the ones like this is where the Walkman was big because you had cassettes. But like if you wanted to listen to CDs, it's like you had either one in the car, or everything else was just way too and it was not stable enough.
Yeah, if you wanted to have something on the go, yeah, that's what I told you already.
Maybe I'm too tired now to think properly.
Properly,
I said that.
you wish.
Oh my god. And now people are finding my skeet about Metal Gear Solid 2. Okay. Yeah. Wrote about today that people basically just hate Kojima because, he made a game that was basically like, you play a pathetic guy running around naked that desperately tries to be Solid Snake and basically just pointed, out of the mountains like, that's you. And he was right, but people never forgave him for that. Like, people really forget. Like, now it's like, oh, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of the Patriots. I think, was it Sons of the Patriots or was that the fourth one?
Sons of Liberty, I think.
Sons of Liberty, right. Guns of the Patriots was the fourth one. Wow, I am wasted.
You could also just not try to attempt the subtitle if you don't know it right now.
Yeah, but like, anyway, it's like more catfish pictures. This one was a good one. But yeah, basically, Metal Gear Solid 2, great game. It was a fake out. People hated the game when it came out because so many people who played Metal Gear Solid 1 basically walked away with like, Snake is such a cool guy because he kills all the bad guys and he's manly. And yeah, that's why you play Raid in the second one, because Kojima was like, fuck you, Chuts. I hate you. You're embarrassing and pathetic.
Even the marketing tricked people, which is probably why a lot of hatred still lingers, even though lots of people probably just got into Kojima hate from those people without even knowing the actual reason.
Yeah, that's actually what I quoted.
Like, I don't know the guy, maybe he's actually an asshole, But like game design wise, he knows what he's doing and he knows what he's capable of and what he's not capable of.
Yeah, like he's also one of the like very few developers who makes like cinematic games that actually make use of being games instead of trying to be movies where you occasionally press a button. To put like
ironically,
he actually understands the medium he's working in and he makes full use of it.
Ironically, that's what people are accusing him of making movies.
Yeah. Oh, he just makes movies. Oh, what? Wait, movies? You mean the Metal Gear Solid series? You mean Death Stranding? Some of the most gameplay-dense gameplay series in the fucking world that he just keeps making. Do you mean that guy? Like, but the ending credits, the ending credits to Metal Gear Solid 4, a game out where you play hours and hours before that with like really good stealth gameplay. We're talking about the same game, right? Where you pour hours into it and then you have just a long cutscene. Oh boy, the cutscene is truly the important part here. Oh, sorry, I'm a bit pissed here. And then people are like, but his writing is pretentious. No, his writing is just not subtle, and some of you have like...
Yes?
Let me just put it like this. There are a bunch of people out there who really fucking hate it when media is blatant. Because... Here's the thing. You know how a bunch of people online consume media, especially games? They always say, show, don't tell, which is, on the surface level, valid advice. But they mean it slightly differently. They mean it, make it so that I don't get it at once. Make it in a way where I can interpret stuff into it. Because the thing is, the moment you do that, they can just imagine everything they want onto a game. They could also...
People are surprisingly good at misinterpreting media.
Yeah. But also, here's another thing. You know why people also want that? Because if no one gets the game, if everyone gets the game, they're not special anymore. This is why people watch, this is why the whole, Dark Souls bit that I think is overplayed to hell and back, and From Software should start making more normal games again to a degree, even fantasy ones, because it's getting tired. It's literally like everyone's like, this is so amazing and totally fits the vision, because even though nowadays it's just played out, it's just going back into the same ecosystem of a few guys hold the authority over the interpretation, tell that people, and then those people go to other people like, hey, did you notice that this means that? And David then feels smart. Because no one gets this on their first try. And this is just what it is nowadays. But then when someone comes around like, Hideo Kojima, and just calls someone dead man, or quiet, and like, why is she called quiet? She's very silent, and just hits you over the head over and over again, that everyone gets what this fucking game is actually about. While you're playing like one of the most mechanically in-depth, interesting online social experiences of all time, people hate that because suddenly everyone gets it. Like, I don't think there was anyone walking away from Death Stranding saying, so what was this about? They walk away like, this was weird, but I get what the game was telling me. Because it's a meta thing. Like, the thing is, he's just literally making, basically at this point, Greek comedies. Everyone is wearing a mask of what their supposed role is. It's like, it's not a character, it's a role, it's a play. And then they talk about, a lot of high concepts. But they definitely make sure that you understand what the fuck they're talking about. Like, because, he wants to send a message. And generally, like, we need more people that wants to send a message and they're like, the interpretation is up to you. No, fuck you. Tell me what you think.
I mean, both sorts of storytelling are viable
Fair
Because
point.
on one hand, you have a message, you want to send a message,
Mm-hmm.
but on the other hand, you want people to engage, understand, and think about your art.
Yeah. Just sending it to you. There we go. Yeah, that's what I actually reacted to that. But yeah, that's. But I feel like the whole, everything has to be up for interpretation. Don't tell the people what they need to hear. It's getting fetishized to a degree because people do not want to get told what they can read into a game. And that is a problem because, we are living in ages of very, very bad media literacy. Really, 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 really bad. And then there's a certain arrogance in the idea that a game shouldn't tell you exactly what it's about. And that's bad. That's bad. I think we can agree on that, right?
Yeah, kinda.
Mm-hmm.
It's also the thing that pretty much every message is political, and we still have a lot of people that want to avoid thinking about politics. Because we kind of still come from an era where things were, for at least some people, good enough.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want to engage with it. Because as soon as you start to engage with it more than superficially, you end up at the point where you have to choose sides, basically.
Yeah.
It's still a spectrum of sides, but in the end, you either want people, certain people to be oppressed or not.
Mm-hmm.
You want an economic system that suppresses people or not.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of stuff to talk about that, but yeah. Not getting challenged seems to be a very big thing people want to they want to avoid being challenged. That's it. And Kojima challenges them very blatantly. Wow. Then again, I will just bring up the last guy that tried to glaze Hideo Kojima ended up giving us the absolute godsend of Orc City memes.
What? The fuck?
You don't know Orc City?
This doesn't ring a bell.
No one talks about first rule of Orc City. No one talks about Orc City. Okay, basically someone made a post about Hideo Kojima. It was very bad because he kind of tried to riff him on his writing.
Mm-hmm. What did he try to do?
I don't remember. He basically made a skeet about it. And it basically was just he's kind of writing pretentiously shitty, I think, was it? And then people looked up the book the guy wrote, and literally the book opens with, Orc City has been destroyed. So people started making fun of. Oh yeah, Orc City.
Oh, that one, yeah.
It's yeah, you know what? Maybe don't try to say anything on his writing when you open with Orc City.
I mean, if it's biased news, if orcs are discriminated against and there's a place where lots of orcs live, and conservative media reports on the city being destroyed, they would probably call it Orc City, but I don't think.
No, this was a fantasy book about how the elves finally destroyed Orc City at the end of the Orc Wars. That's how the fucking book opens. Okay, you think that killed Agonia just now?
Why is it always this way around? Like, have people forgotten what orcs are standing for?
Yeah. Because, like, do you... Here's the thing. People try to say Kojima's writing pretentious. Do you really think they would read Tolkien and be like, oh, so orcs are basically a corrupted inverse of the elves, the aspirational species that about living in absolute harmony with nature and is, ascending above everyone else in terms of culture and, craftsmanship due to that? No, they don't.
Oh, I think they're going with the AD&D orcs.
Yeah, well, it's always that, because it's always like, hey, we want to have the evil species, so they're obviously savage natives.
Or a different flavor of that. Like the original orcs. Also, nowadays in D&D they would be called mountain orcs. They're not on the monster manual for...
It's just racism.
For reasons. For good reasons, I would say. They're like small dark people with swine noses.
Mm-hmm.
You can think for yourself where that came from.
Yeah, D&D is incredibly racist. Old D&D.
Parts of it, yes.
Yeah.
Especially early parts. And then, but we all know, in the monster manual, they depict orcs, right? And they look different. Yep, they're not a cliche. No, they're a different cliche. They're grey orcs, they come from a different dimensions, have only one god, and bring a crusade to the native plane. So...
Yeah, the invaders, it's like, oh my god.
Fundamentalists, Muslims, basically. That's what they're standing for. They're both...
Congratulations, D&D, you made it constantly worse.
Not even worse, but somehow they always fall back to... racist stereotypes? Like, it's not like, yes, there are fundamentalist Muslims that are bad, but why is it always...
But yeah, the Orc city smoldered, burnt down in the wake of battle, the ground soaked in the knuckles' depth of blood and ash. The savage cries of its defenders now silent and still as its ruins was overseen by the architect of its very destruction. The Orc wars were finally over. There is nothing more reviled than the Orc, said the Elvish king. This is how the book starts.
So did they do a genocide?
They did a genocide, yeah.
Huh. I don't know if that's better or worse than the alternatives the author would have come up with.
No, it's just... Like, we're literally just talking about fucking just racism here, probably. Like...
Huh? What?
Yeah.
Were you answering to?
There were a bunch more posts like that, more people clowning on it. I'll post that, like, not important for right now, but for context for anyone else seeing the... Looking at the chat later.
Yeah, it's like, God. But yeah, basically, D&D just made a racist caricature out of orcs.
Yeah. I mean, again, D&D made racist caricatures out of many things. Thank you, Gary Gygax. Hope you burn in hell.
Yeah.
And
then you have like... And you have like, and then people, and then they're like, oh, but was Lord of the Rings good? Better. Also had problems, but you know what the difference is between Lord of the Rings and most other books? We have like letters from Tolkien, and like when you're like, oh, maybe he missed a bit with the orcs, and he's like in his letters, yeah, maybe I should have written the orcs a little bit different. That feels a bit icky now in hindsight. So like,
yeah, because obviously they aren't intended to be interpreted that way, but you can very validly interpret them in.
Yeah, and he knew. He fucking knew. It's like, if you're gonna try to be like, oh, but Tolkien knew about it and he wrote about it and he was himself a bit, he disliked it, what he did to a degree.
Yeah.
But like, that's that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, but the one of the main world builder from the Forgotten Realms, though.
Why do we need to talk about this though?
Huh? He was pretty fine, the one guy.
He's this guy. Yeah, he's how is he called again?
could look it up because you have the internet there.
You know what? Yeah, you also have the internet technically.
But you're the streamer, you need to suffer.
Yeah. Da 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 da. Ed Greenwood.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems to be a pretty cool guy, actually.
At least from what we knew.
You know, the best part about Ed Greenwood is he's the guy who you can ask the dumbest questions and you will get an answer. Like, did you know that someone asked him how elven titty milk is tasting? And the answer is minty. Anyway, that is world building right there. Yeah, like from what I know, he seems to be pretty cool, actually. But pretty chill. But yeah, that's yeah that it is like
That's like the thing. As much as I criticize D&D for a lot of things that are wrong with it, there are also certain parts of it that are really good if you dig a little deeper.
yeah. Yeah, that's just like it's a lot of it is pretty. I don't know what to say. My brain just slipped.
You're just repeating what I said, but partially.
Yeah, actually. But yeah, sorry. There were a lot of bad people writing some bad stuff about D&D, but like, I can say like there is a reason why people play in the Sword Coast and the Forgotten Realms mainly, and it's like the one setting that people keep, coming back to. Like it's still the main setting, because Greyhawk kind of sucks. Has cool ideas, but
Well,
it's a Gygax world.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason the guy who answered the taste of titty milk question, his world is still popular. Just saying.
I mean, if you have to go for a second world, like if you go like more orthodox, not like you do a spin on the world, like your own version of it, I would take Dark Sun.
Dark Sun is cool, but yeah, it definitely also needs its own thing. They need to.
Dark Sun, it's a very setting with a very strong self-identity. I don't agree with all the messaging, sure, but it has a stance. It explores that stance, and it does that well.
What do you mean it has a stance? Are you suggesting that Dungeons and Dragons and most TTRPGs nowadays do not actually want to have any kind of messaging anymore because they're way too afraid of that?
Yes.
They totally are.
That's,
Shockingly, we can look back to Shadowrun from the beginning. They still have that.
Can I still finish?
Yeah.
Because Dark Sun has strong messages about environmentalism. Good ones, actually. And then there's somehow like you can't do anything without God.
Yeah.
Because everything is shitty because the gods left or something. Like, it's a bit weird. But, On the other side, you have cannibalistic halflings. That's
which are also
unusual.
a bit of a racist stereotype.
I know, it just like if you
honestly,
contrast it with the hobbits, which are basically halflings, I just found it cool to switch it around.
I mean, here's the thing. If I could rewrite Dark Sun, I would definitely keep the cannibalistic halflings. I would still make them really posh British people.
They should be.
That should be the case. No more native bullshit. No. They have their communes, and they're really British aristocracy bastards, but they still want to eat you. That's how they should be written. Just saying.
Dark Sun is mostly pretty a hot climate. and the Brits drank mummy juice. So they
yes.
find you in the desert and then drink
Yes.
juice.
The famous quest for mummy juice. And then you like, you know, that there are some lesbians sitting there like, where are the tits? And like, not mommy juice, mummy juice. You're like, oh no, not the British again. You know, it's getting 4 again. I think we should maybe stop this bullshit here.
Okay.
It's getting dumb. Like, really dumb.
You could talk about Shadowrun if you wanted to do that.
I just want to point out that current Shadowrun edition is still, at least the German stuff is still pretty. Even the English stuff is still pretty okay. Like they have some good writing. They still remember that. Hey, this is more. This should be more left leaning. Yeah.
Can we raid Dahlmeier? To steal their shares of the police force?
Maybe one day. I mean, I can make a run in Shadowrun. It will be fun. Anyway. Yeah, wrapping everything up. Oh yeah, just asking Lena, because you know no one is here anymore, and whoever is here anymore, or who's watching the VOD, well, you know what? Live with it. Have you seen the first video I put out about Transport Fever 3?
No.
Damn! They made a video about how the environments are now just better generated and look better, and like, you know, there's a rare moment in time where I actually look at something, you know, with graphics. I'm like, damn, that's worth increasing the graphics for. You know. I'm just putting this one up without any audio commentary actually. So whoop. Da 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 da. Browser. There we go. So long. You know, maybe I should actually go and make my own browser. And when I make a second version, I can upload a video call saying so long, gay browser. Anyway. Yeah, just want to skip a bit through here because game's beautiful. I should probably not have it in 4K. Like, look at that. I think, like, for the first time, this is a game. Like, I always had my problems with, you know, 3D transportation games. But this one feels like for the first time where I look at, you know, the landscapes, I'm like, this looks good enough that I want to build through there. This is like, I look at this like, this is a canyon I want to build a railroad through. They nailed that one. Also, if you can see here, wow, that looks interesting. You know, a lot of pine trees and then ponds.
I think the sense of scale is still a bit off in some parts.
I don't think it's perfect, but yeah.
It's better than everything else.
Yeah, and also, like, as you can see, they show a bit of the generation here. I think maybe they can make the maps bigger later, but like they said, they will have sub-biomes in the maps. So that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, as of now, it actually looks a lot better. So much more better. Also, day and night cycles, so, you know, things can look nice at night now. Oh, and by the way, if you saw it, they have a fourth environment, subarctic. Yeah. Ain't that nice? Like, you know, they're like, oh, hey, look, we have now nice water reflections. And this is the first time I sit there being like, you know what? This is actually adding to the game because now I'm like, yeah, this looks like an environment where I want to send ships through.
They also have not just a skybox, but actual partially simulated clouds that change how the lighting interacts with everything.
Yeah, it's weird, you know, like, also they, this is one thing they said, that when you are in temperate, that you can't just build railways along rivers now, that, you know, there's going to be a bit more, it's a bit harder to play around with. And that, you know, tropical now is actually island hopping and, you know, dense jungles. Also volcanoes. You know, they don't break out, but probably, you know what? I can totally see that there was going to be an expansion with disasters.
Would be cool.
And avalanches, but like, yeah, it. This looks genuinely really good. Like, I'm surprised that, you know.
The only question remains: are the maps big enough?
That's the thing, because I want this game to be like on a really big map that the scale doesn't feel off. Because like this is cool. I'm very surprised that, you know, for the first time I can actually look at a transport game in 3D and saying this doesn't feel off visually. So yeah, good job. I think games are they called. This actually looks like something where I want to, you know, build stuff in. You know, the scale is almost correct, and you know the graphical quality in 2 was always like a bit off, so you know it wasn't detailed enough. That the roads felt a bit like slapped on. Everything was a bit plasticky, but you know when they show this now, I'm like, no, that is close enough that I can suspend my disbelief.
Now's the question: if it ever will be. Will this game be toppled by the next Workers and Resources?
That's a good question. And one is socialism, so probably. Also super realism. I'm just very interested in what's gonna be here in the end. So, yeah. It's just kind of cool. Yeah, that's just, I wanted to show that and just talk a bit about it because... yeah, I am genuinely interested in what is coming with transport fever. So
yeah, like the thing about big maps, I definitely feel that. Like I love Machine Key. It is really good. But I do wish we could get bigger maps on it. That's like my biggest.
That is
gripe.
always the problem.
Yeah, like, the map is pretty decently big. Like it is like it doesn't feel cramped, but bigger ones would still be nice.
Yeah.
Like that. That's kind of that is one of the things that OpenTTD still has over Machine Key. Like why the two of them are like tied in terms of transport games for me, because you can get these ridiculously used maps. Like I often start games on these maps and then end up never actually using them to the full potential because I start building a network and then it just becomes tending to the network and making sure everything goes well and the lines are all like the lines are all saturated enough and expanding it locally, and I never really do any real long distance work. I just improve and gradually expand what I have locally. But it's still nice to have the option, especially when airplanes come around. And although if I start early, usually by the time airplanes become a thing, it's I'm already making so much money that it doesn't really matter. But if I start later on, then that is often like one of the easiest way to get to just make sure I don't have to worry about money and I can just build whatever I feel like.
Well,
yeah, other than that, like that, and the sheer breadth of mods and the long timeline, are like some of the biggest advantage of OpenTTD. But like I said, Machine Key is the only game that can really die with it, and I feel. Yeah, I've tried some Transport Fever too. I've also run into the issue of I just cannot make any money, and I just end up in a slow death spiral, unable to really do anything. So I don't really know what the game wants from me. But yeah, it seems fine, but I still vibe more with like you do with the grid based stuff. And as far as that goes, Machine Key is the only game that really managed to improve on like Transport Tycoon since it came out in the mid '90s. Like the first game in 30 years to really move that forward.
Yeah, like that's a weird part for me because like I think my biggest critique I have for all the transportation games is like, visually, I like the old sprite stuff and such. The simple stuff like locomotion is my favorite there. But
Locomotion would have been much better if it had bigger maps and.
It is so. That's legitimately the biggest problem. The maps are too small. Like I want to have distances. I want to have really long distances.
Yeah.
And it should be doable, but then no one does them. And I'm like, listen.
Yeah.
I wish. I really wish that Transport Fever 3 would be a game where I can make such a ridiculously huge map that maybe takes a while to load, but when it's on there, that I can just build a train line that just keeps going for a while. That's the thing I want to have.
Yeah.
You especially run into the problem that oftentimes they still model velocity and general speed accurately, realistically, and thus you end up with problems like halfway through your route, your train actually needs to brake to even get into the next station properly.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, and anytime it goes up an incline or has a slight curve, it has to slow down. So you never really you have to have a perfectly flat track that runs most of the length of the map for any decently large or high speed train to really get up to maximum speed. It's otherwise it's still fast, but still kind of a weight. You never get the high speed trains cruising at maximum speed for any real length of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still I still want to help you get into Machine Key more at some point. It is a very fun. I think you would enjoy it, and it is a fun game. But
maybe we need to get back to that. But first off, I think the next time we have is getting back to Arknight talk during Delta
that
Force.
Too,
What?
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Basically, I have several things that I want to info dump to you about. These are two of them.
Okay, yeah. Well, but you know what? Let's wrap this one up here. We've been yapping enough. It's 4 a.m. You know what? This is a purely very, very egocentrical request. Because my throat hurts. I don't want to talk anymore. And I want to eat something small. But
sure.
Also, it's 4 a.m.
Also, it's 4 a.m. Yes, I need to still play Neo tomorrow evening and do the great respeckening. So, yeah. With that, I hope you all liked playing Dirty Bomb together. I hope you liked, I hope you all had a good time. Again, maybe we can do some Halo 3 next Friday. Who knows? And if all of that is done, we can say, I don't know. It was fun. I hope you all like talking about catfish and other bullshit, and trains, and politics, and history. And see you all around, and have a wonderful night. Sleep well, stay hydrated. Good night. Bye.